Global climate change, formerly referred to as global warming, is an increase of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere resulting in a rise of temperatures in the atmosphere and in the oceans. The changes in these two life-sustaining features of the Earth result in melting ice caps and then rising sea levels, severe weather, and the endangerment and extinction of many species, to name a few. Although temperatures in the atmosphere and in the ocean are rising, temperatures the world over are fluctuating abnormally, resulting in colder temperatures as well as warmer. It's hard to fathom that humans could ever have an impact on our enormous Earth, but as Al Gore said in his documentary and book An Inconvenient Truth, we've grown so numerous and our technologies have become so powerful that we are now capable of having a significant influence on many parts of the Earth's environment. In fact, the atmosphere is minuscule in comparison with the rest of the Earth. If you had a globe covered with a coat of varnish, the thickness of that varnish would be about the same as the thickness of the Earth's atmosphere compared to the Earth itself. Comments Carl Sagan. In reality, with the amount of humans on the Earth, it's very easy for us to make a significant impact on the environment. Above all else, proper education will help people to see the truth of things. A misinformed person is much more likely to turn their back on a problem and continue with the facade of all is well. The more people are educated with legitimate facts and knowledge, the more people will be likely to want to help. The more people will care. After what is believed to be about 100,000 years on Earth, humans have reached and exceeded their carrying capacity. This is called overpopulation. It is also the sole reason why any of this is even remotely possible. With overpopulation comes pollution, overcrowdedness, and deforestation, and a very, very large carbon footprint. A population of over 7 billion people creates a lot of trash. Landfills overflow, and littering can kill animals that are caught in it. The only wild parts left in the world are state and national parks. This means that wild animals are being pushed into smaller and smaller habitats to make room for humans, or are being forced to cohabitate with us. This is also a result of deforestation. Loggers have cut down more than half the rainforest in relatively recent years. It has been estimated that by the year 2020, 80 to 90% of the world's rainforest will be cut down. According to an organization called Waste to Energy to Save the Green Planet, the effect of global warming is already in Earth and having significant and costly consequences on our climate, our health, and our environment. The reality of this is dire. Animals' homes are killed, which results in a dramatic decrease in biodiversity. Generally, global climate change is not viewed as a main concern as of right now by many people. However, when government legislation is passed, it makes the biggest impact. Because of this, government legislation has the most responsibility to help the environment because of their significant role. Well-known laws that have been passed are the Clean Air Act and the Clean Water Act. The Clean Air Act, passed in 1970, regulates air emissions from immobile and mobile sources. Its counterpart, the Clean Water Act, which was passed in 1972, is much the same. It controls the discharges of pollutants into the waters of the U.S. and the quality standards for surface water. Renewable energy is energy that comes from sources that are generally renewable. For example, the sun, wind, and water are all renewable sources of energy because the source does not run out. If the world switched to renewable energy, like solar panels and wind and water turbines, it would greatly reduce our carbon footprint. We wouldn't burn and waste so many fossil fuels that pollute the air, and we wouldn't have to use nuclear energy that is unstable and dangerous. According to Al Gore, only 68% of Americans believe that human activity is responsible for global climate change. One could take that as good news because, hey, that's over half the population. Or one could take that as devastating news because why don't 100% of Americans believe global climate change is a human-caused issue? The fact is, global climate change is not something that one just believes in. There's an overwhelming amount of evidence that says that global climate change is entirely caused by humans and our overwhelming presence on Earth.